the Grumpy Boys because we are live! Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Saturday night, and we got nothing else better to do, so we're hanging out drinking beer.
Yeah.
And, sorry, I forgot. We are also members now. We've decided to actually choose a side in the world, the universe. You know how it is. So, describe who we've decided to join. What empire are we deciding?
Well, I'm coming from the Klingon High Command. I was hanging out with Gowron, old Bug Eyes himself.
Old Bug Eyes.
That's what we all call him,
There we go. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
So we decided to serve the Empire, the Klingon Empire, of course. And this is what happens when you get old. You start thinking about what is your legacy going to be, what kind of things do you expect of the universe. Absolutely. And basically, Alan and I have decided that Qapla' is the way to go.
But one thing I don't like about the Klingons is their blood wine. Because I just like beer. I like Earth beer. So why don't you say we have some beer?
You're a traitor to the Empire, and I will take your house down.
I'm just not. You know what? I had some gah, and it was okay.
It was all right. It was okay.
It was fine, but I draw the line at blood wine. So.
I'm actually kind of curious. Is blood wine made with real blood? And if so, whose? I've always wondered when they talk about blood wine, is it their own? Is it like some sort of...
I don't think they're cannibals.
I would hope not.
No.
So whose blood?
I don't know. Maybe they got Klingon cows or something.
Klingon blood cows. Hello, welcome. Klingon blood cows are a thing. But anyway.
Hey Shane, can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
We're nerds.
Oh, what? Oh, damn it! I knew I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Why did I go after the cheerleaders and play sports? Go sports. I can't think of a single reason.
Beer.
Oh, right, good point. We discovered beer. Speaking of beer, what beer are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm the only one that's drinking anything from an actual brewery. Shane is drinking his own homebrew stuff, which is cool. That's great. I'm drinking from Wild Eye Brewing where are they?
Right on.
Where are they from?
Yeah, where is
They're from North Vancouver.
Excellent.
Okay, and I am.
You sound surprised. Really? They are?
I'm drinking their peanut butter stout.
Okay.
So now it's written in a style that you would see for Reese's.
Yeah, the Reese's
and it's
Pieces,
got like little peanut butter cups on it.
Oh, sweet.
But what's interesting is there's nothing in this to say that there's actually any chocolate. It's just,
there's no chances of chocolate whatsoever.
All right. Well, let me look and see if there's ingredients here. Brewed with crystal clear North Shore water, malted barley, hops, yeast, oat, chocolate, and peanut butter. And then it gives a warning: contains nuts. So if you have a nut allergy,
steer clear of this one.
Steer clear. Comes in with an ABV of 5.5%. And it says it's malty, which you would expect from a stout. I don't know. You know what? I love Reese's. I do. And so really the can caught my eye more than anything else. So let's...
There's a very... Locke is walking along the side of the highway.
Yeah, not quite as bad as that. Very nearly. So the entire Gravenhurst region is without power right now.
Oh, wow!
Including Torrance, yes.
Oh man.
We have freezing rain. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare.
So, were you basically driving up there in, like, I guess, almost complete blackness? Is that what has happened?
Well, sure, yeah, the blackness would have been fine. The ice complicated things somewhat.
Right, of course. Well, I'm glad you're in one piece and you're actually there. You are.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. I suspect you may not have any beer.
No, I have beer.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, okay. The life is okay.
Yeah.
Are you in your vehicle? Is that where you are?
No. Just there's no power.
You're actually inside. Okay.
The light's coming from a halogen lamp.
Oh, nice. All right. So what, Alan? Sorry. Finish your beer description there.
Sure. So we've had another peanut butter stout before, and that was from Dead Frog. We really liked it. Like you could almost feel the peanut butter at the top of your mouth. This, the peanut butter flavor is definitely there, but it's not as strong as the Dead Frog one, which to some people may actually be a better thing. I prefer the Dead Frog one myself. It doesn't really taste like a Reese's or anything.
Okay.
It's definitely good. It's just I prefer the Dead Frog one, but it's still a good beer. The head didn't last very long. You can see it's kind of gone.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this wasn't a nitro can or anything like that, so you wouldn't really expect it to stick around too long. It's creamy. It's got good mouthfeel. Yeah, I'm liking it. I don't know if I'd get it again, to be honest. But, I mean, for what it is, I like it. All right, Locke.
Right. So, what I have with me, hold on, let me get the lantern.
By the way, Locke, according to the Whitings Bay area, crews are currently working on the outage.
Yes, I understand that.
In the Torrance area, it's still under investigation, so you're screwed.
Actually, no, well, I saw them investigating it as I drove in.
Oh, excellent.
Investigating as I was driving by meant moving fallen trees off the road. So, yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So what I have with me here is... There we are.
Ooh.
The Railway City Black Coal Stout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nice looking can. That's a nice looking can.
It is.
Usually, if you say that, you
get
get
would
slapped.
Look good too, and very dark. If I could show it to you, which I can't because everything's dark where I am. Right. So. How is it? Well, I would note that it's a pleasingly dry stout.
Okay.
The use of stout here, let's see, I think mostly refers to the darker style of beer. It is, however, also a stout in the strong beer sense, the old sense of the term, which is that it's a 6%er. So, a dry 6% stout, not nitro, but smooth body on it, a little bit crisp. Actually, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice.
You know, I have to say, I wish we could try some of these things out west. The stuff that
we have talked about getting on that at some point. I don't know when I will be available to do something about that, but it has been on my list for a while.
Right. And Shane, what are you drinking?
Well, I have no idea.
Tell us about it.
This beer. Where's my camera? There it is. So basically, it beamed away. I have no more beer. It's all gone. This is either the stout or the dark ale, but I think it's actually the stout because it's tasting like a stout.
If it tastes like a stout, it's probably a stout.
Yeah, so it's tasting like a stout. It's very nice. I like it. It was brewed in my living room. I think this is actually a batch from last June. So I have about 6 bottles left of this. So I have about 25, I think we got out of that batch. And it's quite good. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of got a, it's really still, it's actually surprisingly not flat. It's really effervescent and I like it. It's kind of it's got a tang to it, which I like.
If it's from last June, it's kind of, surprising that it hasn't gone skunky yet.
Well, no, I put a bunch of this beer into the fridge.
Okay.
It was kind of funny. If you opened my fridge a few months ago, probably November, it was food, beer on the bottom shelf. They were just like, it was full to the brim with that stuff. So, but overall, I have no complaints. I particularly like this one. I don't know. I couldn't tell you a whole lot about it because I drank it all. So, what can I say? I'm enjoying it. So, but overall, I think that if you can brew your own beer, you should. But
I haven't done it in a long time, and it's probably something I should get back into.
I would agree. I mean, what is the barrier to entry for you for making beer?
Well,
because I know you can. You've done it before.
Oh, I've done it before. I found it was kind of like. Okay, well, first of all, I'll say it's messy.
Yeah.
Especially when you do your first fermentation and like it's blowing out the airlock. You got to have somewhere to put that thing. So I used to have, like, in my old place, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like one of those plastic sinks with 4 legs that you'd put in the basement, and
like a utility sink kind of
like
thing.
A utility sink. So I'd throw my keg in that, and it would like all the stuff would flow out of the airlock down into that sink. I don't have one of those in the place I'm at, so I need to find somewhere to put it where it's not going to make a mess, and my wife isn't going to complain about the smell.
I was just going to say, I remember that one time ages ago, you had that beer kit thing that actually had like a little mini barrel. Didn't that explode? Yeah. Didn't that blow
Mr.
everywhere?
Beer.
Was that what it was called?
I think it was called Mr. Beer.
Yeah. Welcome to Mr. Beer's Brewing Academy.
It was not good beer. But I would say the biggest barrier to me doing it is if I brew the beer, then I got to drink it.
Good point. And that's always a challenge.
Yeah, and I'm not drinking beer like I used to, so.
And why is that?
Because I'm older now, and I'm not in my 30s anymore, or 20s, and I just can't do it anymore.
Damn. Let that be a lesson to all of you children out there.
Brew beer?
What?
That's really your claim, Alan?
Yeah, if I brew the beer, I'm going to drink it, and I'm going to be drinking too much.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Well, okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So if I just buy, like can or 2 a week, that's fine. But if I make like 30 bottles of it, and I got them sitting down in the basement, I'm not gonna be sticking to just one or two a week.
You don't think you'd be able to resist the lure of good beer?
No, because I want to brew another batch, right? So I got to get rid of the stuff I've already got in order to brew another batch.
Okay.
There is one that I wanted to try. It was a beer recipe that actually Barack Obama, when he was president, had published.
Really?
I guess at the White House they actually have beehives and they collect honey from them.
Oh.
So he actually made a honey lager or honey pale ale or something, and he posted the recipe. And I thought it sounded really good, and I wanted to try it. Obviously, not using White House honey, but
I suspect that would be pricey, but kind of awesome.
I suspect it would, and I kind of wonder if it's really any different from any other honey.
I kind of now I want to know more about this beer that he created. I had no idea he had done that. That's actually kind of cool. Like,
well, let's be clear. I don't think Barack Obama was going around collecting honey from bees and writing recipes and everything. He probably had staff that did all that for him. But
that might be true.
I'm sure it's
still a cool idea.
Obama
like a
honey beer.
The Obama honey beer. I'm very curious as to what Locke is doing now.
Right,
yeah, I don't know.
A fire.
Oh, you're making a fire. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm making a fire. And drinking beer and listening.
Because I'm sure it's like bitterly cold there right now.
Sorry?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Is it cold there right now, Locke?
Well, so below freezing, hence the freezing rain.
Right.
Now, checking with the weather to see when it looks like that might change, but right now it's freezing rain.
Is it still coming down?
An expectation thereof.
Let's watch a real man start a fire in the middle of Ontario.
Sorry?
We're watching a real man make fire. I've created fire! I'm such a loser. I totally forgot what I was thinking. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, basically, our lives, as anyone could tell, watching us here right now, we have become so old that this is our life. This is your future.
We've outlived our usefulness.
We've outlived our usefulness, and all we can now do is just drink beer, fart, and make fire. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I mean, it's not a bad life, I guess, when you think about it.
I've done 2 out of 3 of those things tonight. I haven't been making any fires. Let's put it that way.
Well, all right. Okay.
Although I've been
yes.
very active. Like, I'm more active now than I have been at any time in my past. So today, this is what I did. I did a 7K run.
Okay.
I went to the gym and did weight training for 50 minutes.
Excellent.
Came home and mowed the back lawn.
That is hilarious to me.
Then I took the dog for a walk. So, you know.
Well, I find that quite funny because of the how in on the West Coast right now we have that luxury of being able to do that. Like that just kills me every time. It's bizarre.
What?
To
run?
No. To mow the lawn specifically.
Oh.
Because mowing the lawn, of course, is very much a West Coast kind of thing at this time of year.
Yes,
and,
considering where Locke is freezing.
Yeah,
exactly.
No to know where I am.
No, it was quite nice today. And actually, it has been a bit unseasonably cold and wet here.
That much is true. It's actually very surprising that we've actually survived this long.
Now we can see Locke in the fire of the glow.
Oh, in the fire of the glow? The glow of the fire.
I meant the glow of the fire.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Actually, that works as really good lighting.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do that now. I
Don't
feel
do
like
a fire airplane, Shane. You'll burn the building down.
That would be bad. Let's see if I can replicate what Locke is doing. Locke, Alan, entertain everyone while we're goofing off.
Right. So, well, as I've been describing, the weather where I am is pretty fucked. What's the weather like where you are, Alan?
It was kind of wet this morning. Cleared up in the afternoon. It became actually quite a nice day. Was able to get outside and do things. It hasn't been all that. We had a bit of a squall, thunder and lightning storm the other night.
I know. I was there still. And,
you're right. Yeah.
Sheet lightning
I saw
and
you
everything.
that night, actually.
Yeah. That was insane.
Yeah, it was kind of like you could see the clouds just kind of come in, these dark clouds, and thunder, lightning. But it ended actually fairly quickly, I thought. They were actually saying that we were going to have the hail, but the hailstones were going to be big enough to cause damage to cars. And that never materialized. Thank God.
All right, I have fire. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to be like you, Locke. There we go. Fire.
Really?
Nice.
That's not very bright, is it? What kind of a stupid fire is that? My fire's lame. I have unsuccessfully created fire.
Shane's fire has been extinguished.
Exactly. But, I mean, this begs the question, I think, ultimately, just from our conversation here, is how we have grown older, how we have matured, but Shane says, how we've matured, and then all of a sudden I see the wheel from Price is Right. But I don't know. Do you feel like we've become distinguished gentlemen? That we have become somehow? No. No. Do you think we've moved beyond?
Maybe Locke has. I know for a fact that I haven't.
Okay.
And
what age do you think you're stuck at now?
Huh?
What age maturity level have you achieved?
I would say probably 22.
Okay. Locke?
Okay, that's not bad.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. Like I feel like I've gotten to that age now where you start to interact with people much younger than you in a professional sense. Where I've had so many interactions with people during my working life. Actually, not too long ago. I was doing a training session, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, so blah 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 blah. I like this," or whatever it was, and it came up in conversation about how old people were, and I had all these people saying, "Oh yeah, I just turned 22, 24," and I'm like, "Oh man, geez, 22 and 24 now. Like these are people that were born, around 2000, just after 2000, right?" And, cheap viewers on something remove space. How about no? Thanks for trying. We don't care. Somebody wants us to buy people to watch our streams, I guess. But but anyway, I don't know. I just felt that was one of the moments where I actually thought, wow, I really have. I'm not old. That's actually not the way to describe it. You don't feel old. And from now on, Locke will be referred to as Holly for the rest of the show.
I know, right? He totally looks like Holly.
He's totally Holly from the wonderful program. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I just kind of started. I guess I'm only just starting to feel like I've achieved a level of maturity that garners some level of not respect. That's the wrong word. I don't know. I've survived. I don't know. I'm not sure what to call it.
I've achieved a level of maturity where I don't care that people think I'm immature.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. That's good. Yeah. I do like that.
That was some wise Yoda shit right there.
Jedi bitch. But yeah, no, I agree. That is definitely a level of maturity that has been acquired. Locke, what about you? I mean, same question.
I couldn't tell you. I'll leave that. I'll leave that to observers of me. I don't really have a position.
Well, I think you're about 45. Responsible, trained, professional, beer connoisseur, which is a job apparently, at least in Cheers.
Let's put it this way: do you still laugh at fart jokes?
I never laugh at fart jokes.
That's the litmus test right there. If you laugh at fart jokes
since I was 6.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so that means he is much more mature than Alan and I. Damn it. Chicago in the house. Hello there, Chicago. Rascal up to no good. Welcome. We're just hanging out drinking beer. So hopefully you have beer and are drinking it right now. Hopefully.
So
and do you have power? You're not that close to where Locke is, but not far off.
So with my background being the Price is Right wheel there, something I've kind of gotten into over the past week is, and I'm sure we can't play them on the stream because I'm sure they're copyrighted.
Right.
But listening to the music cues that they used in Price is Right back in the 70s. The music that would play while
really
they were describing the prizes.
I can't think of a single music cue that.
Okay, so there's actually a few that if I mentioned them and you listen to them, you would recognize immediately.
Really?
So one of them is called Splendido.
Splendido.
Okay. So look up Price is Right Splendido. And another one is Price is Right The Cats.
Price is Right Splendido.
And don't play it on the stream because I'm sure we can't. There's maybe a 15 to 20 second intro, and then it
holy disco. And what was the other one?
The Cats.
This actually leads me to a question of, oh wow. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, you recognize it, right?
Yep.
I mean,
so okay, that actually, I have a question about this.
Sure.
So, when you guys were growing up and you got to stay home from school because you were sick, did you sleep, do whatever sick children are supposed to do, no. Or did you watch The Price is Right and or insert game shows across television at that point?
I watched Price is Right, Press Your Luck,
okay.
Super Password, I mean, that was your choice. Like, the only thing that was on was either game shows or soap operas, right? So, I mean,
I'm
not going to watch a soap opera.
They occasionally showed Ray Harryhausen movies that I remember.
Which?
Right.
Ray Harryhausen?
I don't know.
Explain for the children.
Ray Harryhausen, claymation animator, did special effects before special effects for special effects, or at least before they were digital.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Back. Oh my God. Yeah.
Jason the Argonaut and that kind of stuff. Yeah. No, that was cool.
There's actually. I wonder if I can find it.
Of course, after Price is Right was finished, then I went and played video games.
Yeah. Well, true. Who didn't? I'll have to see if I can find it, but I have an audio recording of myself because my parents gave me a tape recorder many years ago, and I have all this audio of me audio from sort of between say 1977-ish, 8-ish until probably about 83 or 4. And there's one where I'm at home ill, and my mother was watching Donahue, and I apparently wanted to watch whatever I wanted to watch, and my mother said, no, I'm watching Donahue, you can watch whatever later. And so I went into my bedroom, and I turned on the tape recorder, and I ranted for about 15-20 seconds about how Donahue is a sickening show. It's the blah show. So you can tell how mature I was at the time. But it was kind of amusing, because
no, actually,
I remember years later liking Donahue.
Donahue, yeah, I would characterize it that way as well.
But at the time, I must have been not even, this would be in the BK times, the before Kristen. So there were,
Before Kristen times.
So yeah, because it was a tape recorder that my parents had since forever, because I think the earliest recordings are 1975 or maybe 6, and my mother got it to record at least I think this is what she had got this for, was to record the mileage on the car. So every time I know, exactly. So every time they filled up, they would record the mileage. And I guess it was some kind of, I don't know, in cost savings investment thing. But then eventually it quickly transferred to a recording of myself when I was, about 6 or so.
If they wanted to record the mileage, why didn't they just get a pad of paper and a pencil?
You know what? That's a very good question. I'm sure that there was some other reason that they used this recorder because it was this big chunky black thing where the tape popped out the front and it had a little thing on it.
Yeah, we had one too.
So it was, but that's what I remember, is that my family was into recording mileage and, like, I don't know, I guess important events or something. I don't know.
September 4th,
but it is kind of cool.
1973, the odometer just hit 1,286 kilometers.
That is quite literally what some of the recordings are. It's like you hear the tape recorded, they're adjusting the thing, and then it's like, then you hear my dad or my mother go, the mileage is now blah, 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 whatever it was. And that was it. That was the whole thing. Like, there's like 20 minutes of little snippets of that. Like, why? I don't know. But it does amuse me. Because then eventually the recordings were basically taken over by me talking to my security blanket and shit like that. Right. So, and then whining about Donnie. I want to watch cartoons. Fucking Donnie sucks. Donnie could suck my dick. Boy, that's really advanced for a small child. Telling Donnie to suck his wang. But yeah, I mean, I know exactly when the transition for me, as I got older, I would listen to, whatever rock station I chose for that moment, or whatever tape or CD or whatever I put into the car stereo. But I remember at some point, somewhere around 96, 97, I started listening to CFAX radio like almost every day. Like all the talk radio stuff, the news. Like I don't know what it was. I just suddenly one day thought, I want to know more about the thing, and I'd listen to it. And I just kept listening.
Well, you know what? I think it was around that time too that our friend Todd started listening to talk radio as well. I mean, he wasn't listening to CFAX, right? But he was listening to some other talk radio station. I was just like, "Fuck is this?" Yeah. You know what I think it was? So you started listening to CFAX around 96, you said? So remember So in 1996, we had a really big blizzard here, and you'll remember that.
Of course. Who will ever forget such a blizzard?
At the time, CFAX was sort of like the way that everybody got information here locally, because everything was shut down. And so everybody, that's what we did. We just tuned into CFAX, and you probably just continued with it.
That would be true, because I know that as an adult, I definitely have, I mean, if I were to get in the car today and, drive somewhere not too far away, or, I may be in the car for half an hour, 45 minutes, I know that I'll definitely go to the CBC first, and I'll listen to whatever program is there. If I'm not interested in the program, then that's usually I turn on something else, I stream something or whatever. But it is interesting. I go straight to that sort of, I'm now going to go listen to the news radio, or I'm going to go listen to, oh, that's fascinating that they're talking about the horrors of war in Gaza. Oh, great. I'm going to continue listening to that. But yeah, there's all these things. I don't know. Maybe is it because when you become a certain age, you want to be more informed? Is that sort of the reason, or is it just that I don't know? It's strange. Like there's a weird transition in there.
Maybe it's more of an enlightenment kind of thing that I haven't reached yet, because I would still rather listen to music. But
I mean. Well, I agree. There's also that particular part of it too, where you have the ability to, or sorry, not the ability, the desire to go. I feel like I should partake in what's going on in the world, that sort of thing. Is that it, or do we just?
If I wanted to know more about what was going on in the world, the last thing I would do is follow any broadcasting whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your thinking about it?
Books is a good idea. Books on tape also totally, I think.
That's a good point.
But the thing about publishing is, if you just stick to stuff from last century or earlier, there's a certain barrier that has to be met in order for it to have been published. Whereas after that, it could be fucking any garbage at all. So, that's sort of how I pick and choose. But,
Well, tell me more.
Well, I mean, you don't need to know much about what's going on right now in order to put the pieces together if you have the pieces. The problem most people have is they don't know any geography and they don't know any history. And so when they hear these stories, they're going, oh my God, that's outrageous. Well, is it? How do you know? What's the background there, right? And if you know the background, then all of a sudden some of it actually makes a lot more sense.
Interesting. So, I'm wondering if
a lot of time being absolutely current on somebody else's wrong picture of events.
Well, exactly. But that's what you just said. Kind of made me wonder if there's some sort of developmental stage that you hit at a certain time, where without you realizing it. Because I know for me that when I started listening to talk radio more often than rock stations. It was more about. Not that I felt like I wanted to know more. I wanted to, but maybe there's like a developmental stage where something is starting to change in your development, or your brain's like, hey, I want to know more about blah. It doesn't have to be the news, doesn't have to be talk radio, but like I'm actually kind of thinking more about the format switch, like from just kind of like going, I really want to listen to Ed Bain more, or if you just suddenly your mental development goes, I want to listen to a different format that has different content or something. I mean, I don't know. It interests me. I'm just saying.
I think there is a sort of a point past which hearing another same old jangly pop song gets fucking boring.
Right.
So I think that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, a steady diet of anything, it can get pretty dreary before long. Yeah, I mean, the main reason, two reasons I avoid the news. First of all, they're paid to throw a brick through your window. That is the business model. If they don't upset you, then they can't sell you advertising. If you're watching nothing but good news, and then the jangly ad comes on, it doesn't have that contrast, right? What you want is the world is scary, the world is dark, the world is scary, the world is dark. Oh, but look at this product; it's bright and fun, right? That's the contrast that sells, and that's the job, that's the mandate. So once you understand that about the business model, if you want to be informed, you wouldn't go there, I guess is the point.
And going off of that, social media is kind of the same.
The same or worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think something twigged, and now I understand exactly.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change.
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67. Say, I know it goes to Louisville and Atlanta.
I'm not going to take this anymore. Then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Who are you talking?
So there you go.
What was that from?
A film called Network. It's from 1976. It won a bunch of awards, all that kind of stuff. But Yeah, that's basically the newscaster sort of saying, look, this is everything we do now is total trash and garbage, and this is the 70s. Like, this is like,
I know, right?
and we're entering a new cycle where we're gonna have to be screaming out of our windows.
Yes.
Is that what we have to do?
Yes.
Like, Locke gets through the window and goes, I fell through the window! I'm mad as hell! I'm not gonna take this lack of power anymore!
It kind of reminds me, in some ways, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, and the Rascal Up to No Good with Chicago in the house may be aware of it, because I think it happened in Chicago. It was in the, say, 87, 88, where somebody hijacked a TV station, a TV signal, and pretended to be Max Headroom.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. That I can remember.
It kind of reminds me of something like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, fight the system from within the system.
That is kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah. I think it was in Chicago. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure.
I love...
Look it up at the Max Headroom event or something like that.
Let's see. I'm sure I can find it. Hang on.
Max Headroom Pirate TV event or something like that.
$1987.
Yeah. And where did it happen? Please tell me Chicago. Please tell me Chicago.
It was Chicago.
Yeah.
Let me find it. Here we go. I have it for you. So this is, I guess, this is a clip of the live broadcast. So there was some football game going on. And then... So he didn't say anything? I don't remember.
No, he did.
Or...
He did, but it was kind of garbled.
Oh,
And then it went away. And then it came back.
Oh, well, we'll just...
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I. Actually, the computer that we have running our news from time to time took off and went wild. So what we're going to do is
took off and went wild.
Bears and tell you once again about the 30-10 victory they had over Detroit today out at Soldier Field. We'll show you from the top and show you again the change that they made today on defense with Maurice.
That was the first instance.
Okay.
There was a second instance later where he actually got up and took down his pants and was getting spanked on his ass.
Okay, I found it. What the hell is Locke doing? The soundscape is amazing. Like crunching gravel, and then suddenly it's like Locke is, I don't know, in the woods getting spanked.
Fire.
I was getting more wood. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm assuming.
Jesus. What's the way? Your love is fading. I still see the X. Oh, my files. Oh, I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspapers. Newspaper nerds.
Newspaper nerds?
My brother wrote the other one.
I mean, it's making some sort of a statement.
As far as I can tell.
Okay. So apparently
that person never got caught. Like, it remains a mystery to this day.
after some random moaning, the masked figure sang the phrase, "Your love is fading," hummed part of the theme song to the 1959 animated series Clutch Cargo, and said, "I still see the X," a reference to the last episode of that show, which is sometimes misheard as "I stole CBS." He also feigned defecation, complaining of his piles, claimed he had made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest newspaper nerds. WGN's call letters stand for World's Greatest. And then he put a knitted glove on one hand while commenting that it was dirty and his brother had the other one. After a crude jump cut, the main figure appeared mostly off screen to the left with his partially exposed buttocks visible from the side, with a female figure wearing a French maid costume and what appears to be a mask wearing on the right edge of the frame. The unworn mask header mask was briefly held in view while the voice cried out, "Oh no, they're coming to get me, make it stop," with the female figure beginning to spank Max with a fly swatter.
Crazy.
This happened during an episode of Doctor Who? Oh, that's cool. I was gonna say earlier, like this feels very much like somebody was had access to equipment that they normally wouldn't have access to, and just messed around with it, and then decided not to.
I think they had a message. I don't quite know what that message was, but it was sort of like an anti-TV, anti-commercialism type of message.
Well, they didn't do a very good job.
No.
I mean...
No, but you're on the right track, though, because whoever did that had access to, broadcasting equipment, which cost hundreds of thousands of dollars back then. So the average person couldn't have done that. So it's got to be somebody on the inside. It was probably a disgruntled staff member at WGN.
So for what it sounds like, that what they figured out was that they just fired a big, huge microwave transmitter into the broadcast towers, and it just took over.
Yeah.
The experts say that the stunt required extensive technical expertise and a significant amount of transmitting power, and that the pirate broadcast likely originated from somewhere within line of sight of both stations' broadcast towers, which were both atop tall buildings in downtown Chicago. While the prank was difficult to accomplish in 1987, it became almost impossible to replicate after American television stations switched from analog to digital. Huh.
It's kind of cool. Creepy, too. We lost Locke.
That is bizarre. Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh, there we go then. So without Locke, this show's about nothing. Alan, quick, get naked! Yes, Portlock, surviving in the dark.
I kind of wonder if his phone ran out of battery power. But.
Oh, that's entirely possible. He was driving for a little while before he actually got to where he's, went. Do you think, kind of like the Nessie in Loch Ness, that eventually, how long was it until it was finally, the people that actually took that famous photograph admitted, oh yeah, we just faked it. It was a toy. How long until you think that Macs will identify themselves?
Never.
No?
If they were going to identify themselves, they would have by now.
No one has ever claimed responsibility. Speculation is it was a disgruntled employee, or was carried out by the Chicago's underground hacker community.
Maybe.
Okay, that's so bizarre.
I don't think anybody would.
No. Oh wait, there was a the 5-year statute of limitations was surpassed in 1992, so the people responsible could no longer face criminal punishment. Interesting.
Sure.
I mean, do you think anyone would care?
The FBI is going to be like, yeah, sorry, we can't do anything.
Yeah, we're going to come after you because they're probably 95 years old now, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
Now, would you do that?
It's going to be like, if they're still alive, they're probably in an advanced age at this point.
If you could do that, if you had the technical expertise, it was still possible, would you do it? Knowing potentially you'd never get caught for it. And if you did, what would you broadcast?
I think it would depend on my motivations. If I was that motivated, yeah, I would.
Okay.
But right now, no, I have no motivations to do anything like that.
But what would you have broadcast then?
I don't know. Probably old episodes of Dukes of Hazzard or something. Because the Dukes of Hazzard doesn't play on TV anymore. Can't find it anywhere.
Can't find it anywhere? What do you mean you can't find it anywhere?
Because of the Confederate flag on top of the General Lee.
Oh, right, of course. That's true.
So it's been canceled.
It's been canceled.
But it can never be aired on broadcast television ever again. Or streamed anywhere.
I wonder how much time broadcast television has.
God, at least until my mother is gone, please.
It would really?
My mom just doesn't get streaming. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really? It has no clue.
Oh, she has absolutely no concept for it.
Apparently, you can get the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, where?
Including the Dukes? The 2-movie collection, the Dukes of Hazzard Reunion?
Oh, it's probably on Amazon or something.
So it looks like you can only rent or buy. You can't actually stream. Interesting. I wonder why. I wonder if it is because of the thing, but whatever. At the end of the day,
I don't understand why they couldn't just. I mean, I wouldn't want them to do this.
No.
But couldn't they just digitally replace the Confederate flag with something else?
I think if they thought it was cost effective, probably. I think they would, if they could make money from it. But at the end of the day, it's a show that ran so long ago. I mean, I doubt it.
And really, I've seen I have some of the seasons on DVD. The episodes have not lived up. They've not stood the test of time. I watch them, I'm like, really? I couldn't wait for Friday nights for this thing to come on. You've seen one episode, you've seen them all.
Pretty much. I mean, what else do you really need to do aside from, I don't know, sleep? It's so bizarre.
Knight Rider was incredible back then, but now?
I remember you and I watched an episode at your house, and you were like, hey, which one should we watch? I don't know, let's watch this one. Okay, cool. And then after it was that over, we were like, God, that was horrible. And I think we watched actually one more episode after that, but yeah, no, it's like I was saying earlier, we've hit a stage.
All those
they were great.
Airwolf, A-Team, all of them. They just had not.
Yeah, the Fall Guy probably would survive any cancellation, I would think, but I think it's about.
But I mean, what I'm saying is that the actual writing hasn't stood up.
No, true.
It's very formulaic.
It's sad, but you know what? They made a ton of money back then.
I mean,
I had a poster of the General Lee on my wall growing up. I don't think I had the Daisy Duke poster.
Let's be clear. If I watched the Dukes of Hazzard, it was to see the General Lee. I wasn't cared. I didn't.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
Humans in the show. I wanted to see the General Lee.
Yeah, mine was a photograph of the General Lee mid-jump, if I remember correctly. I had a poster for years. And I got really upset because I had one of the... Remember back in the day you could get those little pens that had lemon juice in it? You could write on it. It was like a secret message or whatever. It was like... You'd write on paper, and then you'd hold it up to the light, and you could actually read it. But anyway, I had this one invisible ink pen that looked like a rocket. Like it was actually had like fins on the cap, and it was shaped like a rocket. And I remember, I don't know who it was, but back then I remember them throwing the pen, and first they put a hole in my blinds, and I remember being upset about that. But then they put a hole in my General Lee poster. I was so mad. I was like, "You asshole," or whatever I said back then. Those are the days. Anyway, on that note, since Locke is gone, and we've been streaming for a little while, we'll see you all next week because beer is awesome, and we won't stop drinking it until the doctors take it from our cold, dead hands. And so we hope you come back. Thank you all for watching today, and we'll see you next week on the next episode of The Crafty Boys, where... If you're just tuning in, you missed out. The episode was awesome.
It was.
Bye, everybody. I'm such a loser.